Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Sarah. In a moment, we'll be presenting the... Sarah, could you put the presentation in the hub?
Yes, it's loading.
Perfect. I look at that in the first presentation, yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I look the presentation in the hub. The audience look the presentation in the hub. Olive, can you look the presentation?
I already uploaded.
Olive? Sara, me comentan que tu audio se escucha medio raro. Yo también te lo escucho un poco raro. ¿Tienes algún problema con el audio?
No.
¿Tienes algún micrófono? Porque escucha crashado el audio.
Okay. I'm going to switch my mic.
How can the audience listen, Sarah? You listen well, Sarah? The audience listen Sarah well?
Can you listen to me?
Ah, perfect. That's
okay,
perfect.
So is this better?
Yes.
Okay, thank
Much
you.
better. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I don't know if you can see the presentation.
The audience can look the presentation.
Okay,
Yes.
Thank you, Samantha. Okay, then we are all set.
In 1 minute we can come on.
Yes.
I have to explain to the audience. Yesterday I have problem with my computer, and apologies for that. And right now I come here, but yesterday my presentation that was at 4 o'clock. I have a problem with my computer, and apologies for all the audience. Right now my college that was my student in will be presenting this research. Well, Sarah, can you begin, please? In one second, please, can you begin?
Yes, sure. Good morning, everybody. I am so excited to be here today. It's a dream come true. It's the future in the now. My name is Sara Irish Hernandez-Ham, and my co-presenter is Dr. Christian Angel Rueda. We are from Mexico, and the topic we will present to you is Virtual Words, a place for English learners and teachers. The present work is the result of an investigation on innovation in the teaching learning process of English language at the IT School of the Autonomous University of Querétaro in Mexico, which consisted on applying a didactic strategy to introduce the English teacher into the use of virtual words for educational purposes. An exploration was carried out following the observational study method, where a didactic activity was applied to a sample group of students in order to collect information on possible obstacles that other teachers of English might encounter when working with virtual words as a support tool in the teaching of English language. The results of the research were greater motivation in the student by doing a practice of English language in a relaxed and free way through an avatar where the teacher was only an observer and the students built their own knowledge. Let's talk about three-dimensional immersive digital environments. 3D IDs for its acronym in English. They are called thus by a construction of a macro concept, attending the need to understand the operation of the terms of virtual reality, virtual worlds, and augmented reality, as explained by Dr. Angel, Valdez, and Rodman, who used Maureen's proposals, which describes how macro concepts arise when complementary, concurrent, or antagonistic concepts are associated in a combined supplementary way to form a complex unit. Christian?
Yes, thank you. Can you put, okay, perfect. From the environments, virtual reality aims to create a complete reality. Augmented reality integrates virtual reality and ancient traditional reality. Mixed artificial create image and sounds concepts that unites the virtual environments of virtual reality and augmented reality through the multi-users connection, which will be reflected in the virtual experiments and process of living. Perfect. As Jimenez mentions, in these times we have seen how new technologies based on multimedia and the internet are creating new ways of learning and teaching through the creation of new ways to see, hear, and touch interactions with learning objects and situations. Immersive virtual models are digital interactive environments with current access through online connection which can have a user interface based on the 2 or 3 dimensions of space and can be immersive or not.
The virtual, as Kuo mentions, is that which is created in another reality, from the same reality in which I live. It is a concept that encompasses everything that is constructed from a language and that can be interpreted as data or images. The virtual is something real because it exists, but for it to become a reality, it requires being observed and experienced. The virtual has that reason for being, providing something where you can learn about yourself depending on the way in which you interact with that other reality. The virtual has potency, that is, it can be converted into whatever one wants, and once created, it can also be recreated as many times as required. The image mentioned in the image, says Kuo, refers to the ability of a virtual world to feel with our senses and as if it were in the real world. The images can be seen, and at the same time, one can also touch, feel, and react to stimuli that is designed for that purpose. It is then when you have the feeling of living within the virtual world and the image. For this one can use another identity that receives several names, including avatar. There are several complications that can arise and that are not favorable or recommended, like spending more time immersing the images than in the real world, believing that one is better than there than in the real world. The use of virtual worlds for educational purposes, as mentioned by Angel, is a good time to reestablish and consider the emotionally pleasant, playful element of learning, because technology is pleasant by its nature. An important feature in the virtual educational world is the ability to simulate. This also represents the benefit that both students and teachers are free from requirement of having a book as mediatic technology. The use of avatars to move inside the environment provides the student security and confidence, very important factors in learning a foreign language, and protects the identity of the student as well. Regarding to foreign languages, the Australian professor Henderson exposes several advantages of the use of virtual worlds for teaching languages when talking about how they work. Henderson says they operate as effective filters, as a recording environment, as a group of physical and linguistic co-presence, and collaborative work groups. When students enter a virtual world chosen for the practice of English language, they will be immersed in an environment in which they are required to speak only English. This is similar to trips abroad, in which one is exposed to the language target most of the time and receives constant stimulation of the language, practicing the 4 skills and thus enhancing the learning. The research used observational studies that consist of obtaining data according to a previous definition of what is to be observed. This is the content. Who or which context will be observed? That is the sample or the setting. The specific observation modality and the type of record to be used through the development of a prior observation guide. With this modality, a significant pattern could be generated in the observation of the teacher's behavior with the students during the teaching process with the virtual world. For the research, an exploratory study was carried out applying a didactic strategy generated from the concepts identified in the theoretical framework of the research protocol. The experimental subjects observed were a group of students of advanced English, which included men and women from different majors, age between 20 and 20 years old. The background of the subjects is highlighted in information and communication technologies. So the management they already had of the technological resources was exploited to favor the experimental practice, which was performed in a classroom with a teacher guiding the students and observing the practice. The didactic strategy applied was a project which consisted of asking the students to form teams of 4 people to generate a conversation practice speaking English using an avatar within a virtual world. The topic was free in order to encourage their creativity. As requirement for the practice, part of the conversation had to be video recorded to show evidence and for further analysis. The goal of the video was to save evidence of the practice inside the virtual world and exploit the technology skills of the students. The last part of the exploration required the students to write an account of their experience practicing English language within the virtual world. The objective of the writing, the story, was the integration of each stage of the practice and to promote reflective writing. The material resources to implement this project were a personal computer with internet connection to access a virtual environment that was the technological resource of the project. The options were Second Life, High Fidelity, Sansar, Open Simulator, Minecraft, World of Warcraft. The technique used in the exploratory research was first-person and third-person observation. The first-person observation required the observation notebook instrument. The third-person observation required instruments such as video recordings of the didactic activity created and role-played by the students, and a reflection written by the students to express what they experienced. The collected information was analyzed through observation tables, created in their own way with the concepts of the theoretical framework that will help a better analysis, to detect the outstanding didactic situations that were analyzed after. The analysis parameters of the observation table were what was observed in the student, what was observed in the teacher, about the didactic strategy, about the understandings of the language and the transversal competences implied within the competences, in addition to the dexterity in the use of the virtual word, transversal competences such as teamwork, work organization, and initiative ability were observed, which are very important for innovation. The potential of this project is that in the future, the participation of English teachers could be favorable and entails their updating and training in relation to the use of virtual environments in their teaching practice. Most of them have integrated the use of information and communication technologies in their classes. So this project aims to bring educational innovation closer to the essential teacher training for them to know the advantages of using virtual words in the educational area, and how this favors motivation in the student to actively participate in learning a second language. Based on the article, Limits, Challenges, and Opportunities to Teach in Virtual Words by Dr. Angel Valdez and Guzman, it is sustained to take the approach of working with teachers first, since they are foremost required to understand the opportunities and challenges of the virtual words to support the students in their practice of learning English language. Likewise, based on this article, it can be detected that it is necessary to deepen the research on the virtual words applied in the educational area, so that is the focus of this research project. After the implementation of the pedagogic strategy for the first time in this school, the understanding gap between the teacher and the student closed importantly. Setting the teacher on the position of the student, having to learn how to manage an avatar, how to move inside a virtual world, how to use the different tools that the environment offered. This way, the interaction student-teacher gets feedback in both directions, giving the opportunity to learn to both agents by doing and teaching to others. A remarkable example of this was the excitement in the students' response to the invitation to work within a virtual world to practice English language. Thus, it is also worth mentioning the ease with which they were conducted through the different practice scenarios. Several students wrote on their essays when reflecting on the practice object of this project that they felt really motivated, mainly due to the playful aspect that working or studying inside a virtual world represents. It was observed that as soon as they were handed over the guidelines for the didactic strategy, the students took immediate action to start working. Thus, they also highlighted the feeling of freedom when speaking English within a virtual world because they used an avatar that represented them, and that in some way this gave them assurance to dare to make mistakes, In addition, the practicality of interacting with people in the virtual world seemed more fluid than in the real world. They also expressed that it was something fun and different from the way they work in the classroom, and that they even felt relaxed, which helped them in their performance in other subjects. The students commented that they had some difficulties recording the practice on video, but they solved it satisfactorily as a team. Christian?
Yes, thank you. A second exploration research was carried out to deepen the investigation as thus find answers to some questions and matters raised after the first exploratory investigation, such as if the didactic strategy was applicable to groups of basics and intermediate levels of English or only to advanced level groups. Another question that came out was if the didactic strategy could be carried out using some video games, and also a sensitive question if the collaborative work required by a didactic strategy was possible in this time of pandemic. What was found from the second exploratory investigation not only confirmed the result obtained in the first exploratory exploration, but also reinforced the advances of using virtual worlds for teaching English and for education in general. In the results, these benefits were reaffirmed, obtained a favorable results even in the group of basic level of English. The didactic strategy is applicable to any level of English groups from basic to advanced. Although the complexity of the dialogues varies, the motivation and the willingness that strategy provokes in the students in the same and connects them to learning. Regarding video games, the practice could be carried out within some video games that allow role-playing and have predetermined and editable scenarios. The notorious difference was that in some games, the avatars were limited in terms of skins or motion range and expressions versatility. Regarding the collaborative work required for the proposed didactic strategy, it was observed that most of the students did not have any complications in preparing the practice. A minor experienced some problem of technical nature that represent an area of opportunity for peer counseling, and even with the distancing from the pandemic, they were able to solve it in a satisfactory and efficient way, creating a closer bond between the student each team.
Furthermore, the students themselves propose to work in between teams to support each other and create interactivity and interconnectivity between their creations. The result was amazing. A team of students finding another group of friends, different team from a different group and level of English, that was carrying on a conversation with a different topic in their own practice, and that started to flow with the other group for a moment. Then they said goodbye and each team concluded their own role play. I'd like to share this video with you. Please click on the link or copy paste it on your browser I didn't send it, we didn't send it to the staff members, so we cannot present it here. Please be so kind and just follow the link, and we will wait for you when you are finished. The video length is 3 minutes. Okay, have you seen it? Is it over? Perfect. Thank you very much. Yes, yes, they were. The feedback from the student towards the teacher who guided the didactic strategy was really enriching, emphasizing the motivation they felt when enjoying the playful aspect of the practice. They also expressed that having this project at the end of semester helped them to relax and cope better with other subjects' projects. Based on the results obtained, there were aspects that positively impacted both the teacher and the student. Motivation is number one. For the teacher, provoked interest in trying something innovative, an environment known for the students but unfamiliar to her. This implies a challenge. Taking up the term of Dr. Angel Rueda, when mentions that the teacher who dares to innovate using the virtual worlds as an educational tool requires to be prepared to face obstacles. He also mentions that the students are motivated to experience a different form of interaction with their teacher. At the same time, they are more motivated to interact in the virtual world due to the feeling of exploring, socializing, and building. And this is how the students describe it in the story. They were motivated by the feeling of exploring while they socialized with their classmates and built English communication. Another important aspect that represents an advantage of the virtual worlds is the freedom experienced by the students in the exploration practice. They described it as feeling comfortable and free, without fear of mistakes, in comparison as when they are in a classic classroom, since they act through an avatar and as in a video game, they felt relaxed. The author Bartra comments on the matter. The game is one of the human activities that have been most associated with freedom. He also mentions that gambling is a free and voluntary activity that at the same time implies a regulated order. Spontaneous motivation and interest caused by the playful part of this environment are very important factors for the human being who seeks to learn by nature. These factors make a difference in terms of the process and the way of learning new knowledge and practicing what already exists. For both the students and teachers, this research indicates that it is an educational win-win game. Students are open to try new pedagogical options. In regard to the use of a virtual world, a lot of the students are experienced enough to carry out almost any practice that is entrusted to them. As the practice object of this project showed, the students enjoyed working as a team advising their peers who did not master the use of virtual worlds, sharing their knowledge and knowing their ability as authors. The students expressed that this practice showed them another way of working, organizing, and continuing to enjoy technology while practicing English and playing with their classmates. As for teachers, the results obtained far exceeded the expectations for the practice. It was very gratifying to observe the degree of interest, of engagement in the activity, and motivation to do a good job on behalf of the students. This opens up a panorama of possibilities that was not known as an English teacher in this school or as a user of the technological innovation that is available as long as a computer and internet service are available. The commitment is to continue designing and developing didactic strategies with clear, measurable, and achievable objectives, which can help to generate knowledge in students and pleasure for teachers in the teaching-learning process. It is of great importance to investigate and enrich the concepts applied in the teaching-learning of English language in a school where technological innovation must be at the forefront and its teachers must be representatives, students, and practitioners of an education that challenges traditional education and accompanies the students in this era, a mixture of realities and virtuality. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, the paper will be on the memory, I think. Yes, thank you, Maria. Okay, Dania is asking, what kind of orientation did your students receive? The regular standard SL kind, or did you provide your own? Dania, I didn't have any orientation to give to them. I am new to SL. I have just recently, sorry, speaking and typing is not my thing, learned. So my students have already the knowledge required. Oh, thank you, Dinia. I thank you. Yeah, so as they are students from an information technology school at university level, they love video games. They love virtual worlds. They love virtual environments. So they already have control and management in these environments. Me, myself, I was the researcher, I was the teacher, I was the observer. So I researched some video games and other environments. I have two girls and they play Minecraft. So I had a little knowledge here in Second Life. Well, I am a baby. I am new to this environment. Here's attending Justin Lawrence, who has been my mentor here in this Second Life environment. Thank you, Justin. And so it's been incredible because I'm a student and I'm going to continue my research in another level. So I hope that next time in the next exploration activity, I will be able to have the knowledge to guide my students or other students that are not familiar with these environments.
Yeah, yes, I want to say that Sarah is my student of master, and this is why I try to say that like a teacher of English, she can be using the virtual worlds, and we make this I teach her how can make this research, and well, she do very well. I like very much the we can find in this research exploration. Well, I like very much. I am here like 8 years, something like that, and and I'm not expert, but I looked at all the students of Sarah were so good for enter so easy in these environments, and well, we like very much the situations that we look about this research.
Yes, Christian has been my mentor and will be for 3 more years. And
Yeah.
when he mentioned, when he proposed 3 years ago, hey, why don't you practice? Why don't you use virtual words for practicing English with your students? I was like, no, Christian, thank you. I am not into video gaming. I'm too old for that. But well, here we are. Here I am. And thanks to Christian, because he has been so patient and really a good mentor.
and I try to say to her, you're a very good research. You have to study a PhD. And ta-da! She's trying to study the PhD. This is why we are going to be 3 years more. And I will be teaching her to be using the virtual worlds for education.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. Say Earth Emerald. The question is for Sarah or for me?
Or both.
Or for both? Either. Okay. Well, first she has to pass like an exam in the PhD, and maybe for enter the PhD, and then we can make like look how can be the project, and we can invite you. You can find us right now. Well, for me, you can find to me our research and all the things that are there. Like I will put my Twitter here, like @eco onis, and you can in one moment you can be in touch with us, and when we have the new idea of the research for the PhD of Sarah, we can make this via a project and make the project Earth Emerald.
Okay, Olive is asking a question. Let me go back to read it. Okay, it says if...
Yes, perfect. Then, yeah.
Were there any differences between the students of different levels in how much they gain from the experience? Yes, Olive. I'd say that beginners were the most I don't know how to say it, like who gain more advantages in the skills. Thank you, Danny. Yes, thank you. All of them, Nahi. This practice was really enriching because they improved English skills such as speaking, listening, writing, and also the students who were not able to play video games or to move into a virtual world, they learned how to. And for example, even if they knew English language, even if they knew the environment, they didn't know how to video record, for example. But there were challenges all over the practice. And yes, for the teacher as well, I have learned an enormous amount of knowledge about everything. And in this pandemic time, it's also very interesting to be part of their process, to be part of their learning. Well, I don't know how many teachers are here in the room, but we teachers become psychologists, parents, friends, mentors, etc. It's been amazing. Yes, you did have to spend 1 hour getting dressed. Exactly. I mean, take a look at my avatar. She looks wonderful.
Yeah, it's difficult to change the avatars. I don't have my avatar that I like very much, like the astronaut. I don't know where is it in my in Second Life inventory. I don't know where is in which part is, because I don't find it. I don't find my astronaut. That for my astronaut outfit that for many years I have it.
Okay.
Oh, you are not careful, saying women in public sandboxes will offer to remake you. Yes, this is why I come here with this outfit. I don't like that very much like my astronaut, but yeah. Yeah, Sheila, I for many years I was like astronaut, but well, I don't find my outfit.
I don't know if you have any question, but before we run out of time, I really want to thank you all. I mean, this world is amazing. This world is so friendly. You people are amazing. Not only the members of the staff, not only my mentors, but really I have found friends that helped me in every way. I even met a girl at an outfit store, and she gave these shoes to me like for free, and just as a friend. I really feel very comfortable spending time here, learning here, and really I'm thrilled. Okay.
They say Denia that did any of the students modify their looks or even spend money to get something of a marketplace? You know about that, Sarah?
I was. Can you repeat the question? Did any of the students, sorry, modify their looks or even spend money to get something off? I really don't know if they spent money, but yes, they modified their looks. Some of them managed to get an avatar that looks like them in real life.
The importance of the stuff of the the avatar is so important in Winter Worlds. So important. Say Nahida, you have to join the group if you need support about. Thank you, Dania. Thank you for everyone for this this time. Let me. Thank you. Thank you. Ta-da! Well, thank you for everyone for being here, and well, and excuse me for yesterday for not being here to present my project. Well, maybe if we have time in this, if the in one moment we can maybe present here, but well, is if have we time, well, we could be presenting in another place. Well, thank you for everyone and for your attention.
Thank you very much. Stay safe at home.
Tantaran. Here, tantaran. Kentucky. Taran. Ah, it's so small here.